All right, Ash, John, we have hit 40 years of the Legend of Zelda. And God, I feel old because that's how old I am. It's like, oh wow,
Crazy.
it's been around for quite a while. Yeah, it's nuts how long this series has been around, and there's so many elements that we could do top tens on, whether it's characters or items or what have you. But for now, and we might revisit this as the year goes on, let's do the top 10 Zelda dungeons, which is kind of our main gameplay section. Like you have the grand world, but really when you get down to it, when you think of Zelda, a lot of it does come down to those dungeons, as that's sort of your goal, what you're going through, where you're getting your new stuff, and so forth. And there's been over 150 in the 40
Oh,
years since.
jeez.
I don't think I
Yeah,
realized.
Really adds
Jeez,
up. Yeah.
that's crazy.
in going through this, and I unfortunately I made one big mistake that I couldn't really fix because it was just too late. Because I did a drop down menu for the poll, I completely forgot about the color dungeon in Link's
Oh,
Awakening.
right. That's
Was it
fair,
gonna
though.
win? Was anyone like, oh, I didn't see the world in color before
Yeah,
this.
and
Let's
I
change
saw
it.
a lot of people arguing that Hyrule Castle in Breath of the Wild should be considered a dungeon.
Uh,
I don't
Probably,
I
but
don't see it as a dungeon. There's no puzzle solving,
that's
really.
true, though.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has really bomb music though too, so it's hard to say no. But yeah, I can go on either way on it.
Yeah, so I can see the argument, but it just ultimately, I honestly I went off of ironically Zelda Dungeon, and just went down the list of what they had. I don't know how I missed Color Dungeon. That's so strange to me. But either way, we have 150 different dungeons to go through. Do you guys? I guess I should have asked this beforehand, if because guessing. Do you have a list? Do you have the drop down? Do you have the form so you can take a look at what we have?
I don't
I
have the
have the
form in
form up
front
right
of me, but
now.
I did
Yeah.
submit my votes, and I have my personal top 10 in front of me. But I can
Okay,
also
we can do that if you want.
I can get the drop
Maybe
down list in front of me. But yeah, I
yeah.
typically kind of have a pretty good handle on the series in general, though. Like in terms,
Yeah.
I've played pretty much every
Okay,
single game in it multiple times.
Hmm.
okay. If you guys are feeling confident, then I will just leave it there,
Yeah,
and
I think we're good.
let's talk about dungeons. And I'm curious where it's all going to end up, because dungeons are very different things to very a lot of different people, whether it comes down to aesthetics or the puzzles or the combat or just the final boss of that area. There's a lot of different ways to interpret it. So it's going to be very interesting to see what actually ends up in this top 10.
Yeah.
Uh,
With a lot of Twilight Princess's dungeons, I think many of them are quite simple in design, like in the way you navigate through them. But their aesthetic and the way the context in the world is probably the strongest in the series. So there's a lot of heavy lifting
It's
there.
yeah.
But when you actually like break them down, I don't think a lot of them are actually the best. But it'd be interesting to see where people land.
mhm.
When I was telling John before we started, when I was making my own list, it was pretty eye opening because for me, I realized that a lot of it for me and my personal top 10 came down to atmosphere and vibes, not necessarily sheer level design, but just atmosphere and just
Mhm.
how it makes me feel when I'm in it, and just just the environment design, I guess. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to see where this is going to land.
I'm also curious if you guys think that any 2D dungeons will make it, because they tend to not be as
I
memorable for people,
know
it
they
I
seems.
think
should.
Minish Cap may have a chance. Otherwise, I'm not sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, just to get some stats in here before we start proper going through it, we had 643 votes for this one. So not too shabby, all things considered. And our number 10 got 737 points. So,
Dang.
John,
Wow.
Ash, what is our number 10 Zelda dungeon of all time?
Well, I'll start us off with a 2D one. I'm going to go from Minish Cap Deepwood Shrine, where you're mini and everything's big. Got those big barrels. You've got the big boss fight against a regular enemy, just a mega size. Very memorable one. Hopefully it made it.
I'll go for another 2D one. And I'll say the Face Shrine from Link's Awakening. I always thought that was
For the
really
music.
for the music and just and that's also close to the one where you find out about the true nature of Kahalan,
True. Yeah.
and that's just a really peak part of that game, in my opinion. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I'll go with the Face Shrine.
All right. At number 10, the Tower of the Gods from the Wind Waker.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Which-
glad this made it.
Honestly, it is probably one of the most memorable dungeons from that game, just because it actually works in the King of the Red Lions, and you have to work a lot of the water, and just thematically, it's just kind of cool that you're climbing the Tower of the Gods in the first place and seeing all this.
Yeah,
It is a cool one. Utilizes a lot. Wind Waker does have, in general, a little bit of a dungeon problem, where a lot of them have some cool theming, some cool boss fights, but a lot of them are very simple. And I think this is probably one of the few exceptions where it's kind of a standout.
yeah. I was really hoping this would make it. Like, the Wind Waker is my favorite 3D Zelda, but only one dungeon from it actually made my top 10 because, as you said, John, it has a bit of a dungeon problem. But this was it, and this was actually personally my number 3. I love the vibes here, and you find out a lot of cool stuff about the story here, and it all calls back to old Hyrule, and it's just really, I think, probably one of the main high points of the game. I really like this dungeon.
I mean, it's good use of the claw shot. There's some good fights against some of the dark nuts. There's some weight puzzles. There's, again, the water element there. It's all very solid. And again, thematically, you get to the end, and that's when you find old Hyrule. And
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
just like, holy crap.
It's so good.
Yeah, I spent so much time trying to break out of the boundaries of the sunken Hyrule, trying to get into the field.
Same.
I thought it was
same.
possible. I thought you could do it.
Sadly
I
not.
wanted to so badly. Yeah.
I will say that this dungeon does fall into the trap, and I don't think it's something that's absolutely memorable. I actually had to look up, like, what was the boss of this place? Do you guys remember?
This isn't the one with the floating hand guy.
Yep,
is it?
this is a head
Yeah.
with floating hands.
Yep.
Godon.
Yeah, the classic Nintendo boss.
Yep.
Yep.
You'll never get away from that whole trope. My God,
Yeah.
that might be the most common Nintendo trope.
Oh, it absolutely
Oh,
is, yeah.
definitely.
I
Yeah.
think you could name 20 games that they've done with floating hand bosses.
Oh, easily. Some of
There's a
as
top
recent
10.
as like 2024. Yeah, top 10 floating head with hand bosses.
I love it.
But yeah, I think there's just a lot of elements that really hit it. Yeah, I agree with Ashley that this would probably be pretty high up as far as Wind Waker dungeons. It just sticks out the most in my mind.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'd say pretty solid start, all things considered. So yeah, Tower of the Gods at number 10.
All right.
So let's move on to our number 9 Zelda dungeon of all time, according to all of you, beating out the Tower of the Gods by 25
Ooh,
points.
only 25. Okay.
Oh, they're probably all going to be quite close unless there's an obvious winner. I think Skyward Sword has some fantastic dungeons. And one really cool one is just called Sandship, where you're shifting time between the past and present on the ship. A very dynamic dungeon.
Mhm.
For some reason, Tears of the Kingdom's Lightning Temple is calling out to me. It didn't make my personal top 10, but I think it would have been 11 for me. It was really close. So I'll go. Yeah, I'll give Lightning Temple from Tears of the Kingdom a shout.
All right. At number 9, the Shadow Temple from Ocarina of Time.
I would have put this a lot
It's
higher.
great. Yeah, I would have. Yeah, I mean, it's really good.
Yeah, it's spooky. Like
Yeah.
you've got all those those big saws coming down. Lens of Truth is just such a cool item, being able to
Yeah.
find like hidden walls. Yeah, it's very different, like in tone to much of Ocarina, which is like often kind of lighthearted, and this one's just hitting you with a lot of dark theming.
Well,
And the hover boots.
you got the hover boots,
Mhm.
you got Dead Hand. Like
Yeah.
this dungeon actually feels like a dungeon.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
God, people were killed in here. Like you have guillotines and slicing swords all around.
There's
Again,
blood.
the Lens of Truth.
Yeah.
All the lore behind it, like as Matty Meister said, like the royal family's execution chamber. The Shadow Temple's crazy.
It actually does feel like legit dangerous.
Yeah.
I think the
kind of-
only Oh, good. Go, John.
I was gonna say I kind of view the Under the Well as like an extension of Shadow Temple in a way. They're
Mhm.
very similar in vibe.
That was the only reason. Like for me, I feel like Bottom of the Well kind of eats the Shadow Temple's lunch because you do that first, and you do
Yeah.
it as young Link. So as a kid, I feel like you feel more vulnerable, and like I always try to put myself in the shoes of young Link, in the mindset of this kid having to like navigate these eldritch horrors, and that's also the first time you fight Dead Hand is the Bottom of
Yeah.
the Well. So
Mhm.
for me, Bottom of the Well actually goes higher because it hits you first, and it's like, man, this is messed up. And then you go back to the Shadow Temple as adult Link, and it's still creepy, but it's like you feel better equipped to
Yeah.
like handle all the crazy stuff going on down there. So for me, Bottom of the Well just takes it a little higher because you just go down this well in Kakariko, you're not expecting what you find down there, and it's really messed up stuff. And the Ocarina 3D kind of made it not quite as creepy, but the original N64 model for Dead Hand
Mhm.
scared the crap out of me as a teen. I
By
was
the way,
like,
this is another floating hand boss.
I was gonna say, I was looking at the boss. Oh,
yeah,
bongo bongo. So
it
it
is.
was
Yeah.
swing hands.
Yeah, yeah,
That might be our clue. That might just be like every floating hand boss from Zelda just made it to they just have the best dungeons apparently.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We make fun of it, but secretly deep down we love those floating hands.
Yep.
At least it's unique. I don't know why all of a sudden we decided on drum for this thematic to end off this one. It seems a little odd, and honestly, he's less creepy than Dead Hand. Like,
Exactly.
almost feels like Dead Hand should have been the actual boss.
Mhm.
But it's fine. But I think a lot of what just carries Shadow Temple is just thematics and interesting, some pretty interesting puzzles. Again, the good use of the Lens of Truth.
Great items. Yeah, Hover Boots and Lens of Truth are both brilliant in this dungeon. You
Definitely.
also use the bow in the boss fight as well. So it uses items from the past, which a lot of dungeons fall into a trap of just throwing out in favor of the dungeon item. So it's a nice diverse one. Yeah, I would put this really high.
Yeah, I think I would too. Oh yeah, it has a Gibdo in here as well.
Mm.
All right.
Is that the only Gibdo in Ocarina? Because I think more of the others. Yeah,
Aren't there Gibdos in the Spirit Temple? Maybe not.
there might be. I can't quite remember. But yeah, I think it's probably one of those dungeons that kids got into like when they're really young. It's like, what the heck is happening?
Yeah.
That place got scary. Unless Castletown didn't already scare them when they became an adult. So, yep. The Shadow Temple at number 9. Let's move on to our number 8 Zelda dungeon, beating out the Shadow Temple by 190 points.
Okay. More of a gap.
More of a gap.
Sadly, I feel like we're very quickly running out of time for a 2D dungeon to make it onto this
Yeah,
list. I really want it to. So I'll throw one out there while there's still maybe time. This was my personal number 4. And so I'll go ahead and throw out the Dark Palace from A Link to the Past.
I was just thinking about Link Between Worlds' final dungeon as well, which is also really good with amazing music.
Yeah.
But I think I'm moving on from 2D, unfortunately. There's
I
some
get
great
it.
ones in Minish Cap, great ones in Link to the Past, great ones in Link Between Worlds. I can't really remember the Echoes of Wisdom dungeons that well, to be honest.
I can't either. Really,
I've yet to play
Yeah.
Echoes of Wisdom, so I couldn't tell you any of them.
It's a good game, but I think as time's gone on, I don't remember it that well. But I will go with Twilight Princess, which I think is going to show up a few times. The City in the Sky with double claw shots.
All right. At number 8. Hot damn, John, you really want to be Spider-Man. City in the Sky, Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
Nice.
The music in this is a earworm. It's not like catchy music. It's just kind of like wind chimes over and over again, weird little sounds. But I can hear it right now. It's been ages since I played Twilight Princess. But such a cool theming. It's weird, and the double claw shots just elevate it to another level.
Yeah,
This is a great dungeon.
So unique in terms of just how you navigate this place. It really emphasizes that whole "you're in the sky" aspect because of the double claw shot, which would not think that our next upgrade for an item, the same item that you just got before, so you can do it again. Congrats.
Yeah,
and the reaction is hell yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's the claw shot. Of course you want
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, this is a great dungeon. Twilight Princess is not one of my particularly favorite games in the series, but it really does excel with dungeons. And two of those dungeons actually made my personal top 10, and this was one of them, unsurprisingly. So, no, this is great, and I love the whole Spider-Man feeling of double claw shot. And again, I keep coming back to atmosphere, but as you were saying, John, the music and the constant wind chimes, you really feel like you're in this really remote area that almost you're not supposed to be. You're almost like treading on sacred, forbidden ground, that you're just in this otherworldly area that maybe you shouldn't be in, but you are. And then you also have the ukus or the ukkos or whatever the hell they're called. And they're so weird and creepy and
Horrific.
cool.
Yeah,
Horrific
yeah.
little creatures.
I love it. I love it. No, this is easily one of the high points of Twilight Princess, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Also, I was just looking through screenshots here just to remind me a bit because it has been a while since I played Twilight Princess. The flying Lizalfos and Denalfos are in here again, helping out that
Oh,
theme.
right, yeah.
I don't know if those type of enemies ever show up in any other Zelda game where the Lizalfos can actually fly. So
Right.
I like that
Yeah.
uniqueness.
Just Hyrule Warriors? I can't remember, but in like mainline at least.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hyrule Warriors, our boss is Argarok, which did make it into Hyrule Warriors. Is that
Right.
representative of Twilight
Yes.
Princess? And yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
I mean, he's no
It's-
head with floating hands, but yeah, he'll do.
True. That's, you're right. He's our first no floating hand boss. But this dungeon just rocks in general. Like, there's nothing quite like it. We've had other sky temples before. Like Minish Cap has one, but you don't really think of it in the same breath. Like this is
Right.
another level.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to get there. You take a big cannon to the sky.
That's
Right.
true.
Yep.
Gotta get those cannons in there, and it's so funny. We have an entire game based in the sky, but I feel like I almost like Twilight Princess does it better.
It kind of does.
It does,
kinda does.
honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, funny that, but yeah, City in the Sky at number 8. And this also marks the point where we have a massive jump in dungeons,
Oh.
where these top 7 are sort of like the ones, like because 8 and below relatively close to each other. Maybe a few that has 100 points. A lot of them is just like 20 points difference in less in a lot of cases. But these top 7 are like the big ones.
Okay.
Because 7 beat out City in the Sky by 615 points.
What?
Jeez. I can't
Yeah.
imagine
Man.
what would cause such a big gap. Like, I thought City in the Sky would be a pretty
Yeah, I'm kind
Yeah,
of surprised.
meaty contender.
All right. Well, I guess I'm not the biggest fan of Majora's Mask's dungeons, but Stone Tower Temple was pretty cool.
Stone Tower's like
And
the only candidate.
It's just really the only one, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like if it's going to be here, if Majora's Mask is going to be here, it's going to be Stone Tower Temple. So I'll throw out Stone Tower Temple. Why not?
Yeah. It's hard to say what is too early to say because I think around this point they're all kind of competing for the winning spot. I'll go with the Arbiter Grounds from Twilight Princess
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah,
with
that's a good one.
the spinner.
Mm-hmm. At number 7, the Spirit Temple from Ocarina of Time.
Ah, nice. I almost thought, yeah, that's number 5 on my own list. I love this dungeon.
Yeah, this
I
is
mean,
rock 'em up.
it's the only one that utilizes both kid and adult Link, and
Right.
that's so unique.
Yeah, I mean that's what drives it really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It also has to do some story heavy lifting here because you don't know Noboru at this point. It's not
Yeah.
one of young Link did not meet her before the first 3 dungeons, so you have to sort of speed run her whole deal within this one dungeon. Ironically, meeting her as a kid, so you can rescue her again as an adult. So still keeping that aspect that constantly gets used, but just in a quicker form. And honestly, it's still like she still stands out as a very memorable character for Ocarina. And then I think is this our first time we're going up against an iron? I was going to say Dark Knight, but it looks to be an Iron Knuckle, the big guy with the axe.
Oh
think
yeah,
so.
it is. It is.
Yeah, it's the first time you fight Iron Knuckle, and it also had a really standout boss fight too with Twin Rova. Really cool
Oh yeah,
boss
Twin
fight.
Road was cool.
And also just again the atmosphere, like the Desert Colossus to me always felt like it was truly really far away from everything else. And it was also kind of it felt like off limits as young Link because you can't get into the Gerudo base as young Link, right? So when you go to the Desert Colossus as young Link, it almost feels like you're doing something you shouldn't be able to do. Like young
Yeah.
Link should not be able to be there. And it just feels really cool to be able to do that. And then just doing the first half as young Link, then coming back and doing the second as adult Link. The music's really good in Spirit Temple. I like I said, it was number 5 on my own list. I love this temple.
The
And
item is Mirror Shield, is that right?
Mirror Shield, which is
Mirror
actually
Shield,
very
yeah.
cleverly set up because at first you're using like in place segments, like where you have to shift around a mirror in order to catch the light and do these puzzles initially, and then they give you the Mirror Shield, so it leaves you a lot more freedom to just put it wherever and have to think outside the box. So it's a nice bit of training in that way where, hey, here's how it starts out, here's the basic concept, now you go through and do it yourself, and you have that base idea there. And then it's even used in the boss fight against Twin Rover because you're catching their elements and then sending it back at them.
Yeah.
So it makes it a very unique boss fight as well.
Yeah.
And you also the Iron Knuckle, is it Naburu who's trapped in the iron, like it's her, or it's another Gerudo, but there's someone trapped in the Iron Knuckle armor that when you beat them.
I think that's her when you're young Link.
That's right. It's Naburu when you're young. Yeah, okay. I always thought that was really creepy and a really cool detail.
For sure. So this was also the dungeon with the music that had to get changed a bit, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Was that
yeah.
the
'Cause it
Fire
had,
Temple, I thought?
some
The chanting.
religious tones.
I think that was the Fire Temple, wasn't it?
Was it the
I
Fire
thought it was
Temple?
Spirit. Maybe it was Fire
I
Temple.
thought it was Fire. I think could be. Or
I
both.
could be wrong.
Could be both.
Oh, that was the Fire Temple. So Ash is right.
It was. Okay.
Okay. I saw this one figure in as far as the design. I was like, wait, is this the one? But no, not quite. Still standout dungeon. Looking through it, just makes use of a lot of different items. And it's sort of like, I mean, it is kind of the penultimate dungeon, so it kind of utilizes everything in a way,
right?
And I mean, Ganon's Castle also kind of does the same thing, but this almost does it better. So
yeah.
The Spirit Temple at number 7. So let's get to our number 6 Zelda dungeon of all time. And that beat out the Spirit Temple by 103 points.
Dang.
I
don't know if this is meant to be obvious, but I'm struggling to order these. I'll throw out one of my favorite ones, Ancient Cistern from Skyward Sword. The one with really cool water theming. Underneath is just hell. Like that's a super
that has to be on this list. If it isn't, I'm gonna riot. I think for this one though, I'll throw out another desert themed dungeon that you mentioned previously, John, which is the Arbiter's Grounds from Twilight Princess.
All right, going with those. All right, at number 6. Well, you guys had desert right.
Okay,
it's the sand ship from Skyward Sword,
which is super rad. Skyward Sword's dungeons are awesome in general, but like the way up there, where you're on that sandy boat with a crystal on, and you're like making water appear around you, and you finally get to the ship.
Such a cool idea.
It's such a cool idea. And then you're in there, and you're in this sort of just dry desert, and you sometimes see those little crystals you can whack from a distance. You just completely evolve the ship into like bringing it to life. I can't remember the item. This isn't the one with the gust blower, is it?
No, that's the Lanayru mining facility, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm seeing Nehru's Flame and Goddess White Sword. So I don't think it really has much of an item for it. It's just sort of a dungeon to do that stuff. But there's also like there's notable aspects to it. Like you have that sword fight with the pirate guy.
Yeah, which is actually a really cool fight. Yeah. And surprisingly challenging if you're not prepared for it. I like that fight. I know people are kind of down on the main boss fight of this dungeon. It's the guy with all the tentacles. I can't remember his name, but
Pentalus, yes.
Pentalus. I always kind of like that fight. I know a lot of people really don't like it. It's pretty basic. There aren't any crazy mechanics going on, but I like the guy's design. It's raining, I think, when you fight him. I always kind of thought it was a cool fight. But it's funny. I didn't like the sand ship very much my first time through Skyward Sword. I didn't really get the hype, and I don't know why. But then when I played Skyward Sword HD, I was, oh, you know what? No, I get it now. This is a good ass dungeon. I don't know why I didn't feel it at first, but totally deserves to be here in the top 10.
We've been corrected on the item. It's the bow. The bow.
Oh, it's the
this one.
bow that gets there.
Right,
Oh,
okay.
sorry.
And it makes sense because you fight the big Medusa boss thing with the exposed eye that you shoot with. The bow.
Right, you shoot in
right.
the eye.
Yeah.
Whoops. Yeah, I mean, looking at Tentless, I didn't mind the fight either, but it's I don't know, its design sort of clashes a little bit. Like you got this sort of sand ship, especially comparing it to the pirate fight. I mean, that's even a little goofy as well, but I don't know. For some reason, it just comes around across as a little more goofy than people probably would want.
Yeah,
but it's not bad.
it is a bit goofy because right before facing them, the ship starts to sway around a bit too. So like boxes and barrels start to move around. So
Right.
it feels kind of intense, and then you get out there and it's just this big goofy eye enemy.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Dungeon itself though, a lot of fun, a lot of fun
Terrific.
switches, a lot of fun like uses of a lot of the items. You got their gust bellows, you got your little whip thing that you can use to swing across. Of course, you got the bow. I think those dungeons that utilize a lot of your toolkit really does stand out for a lot of people.
Skyward Sword's very good at that in general, I feel.
I'd agree with that.
Mhm.
So yeah, Sand Ship at number 6. All right, we've reached the top 5, and number 5 beat out the Sand Ship by 319 points. So a bit of a jump.
Well,
Yeah,
to
there's
me,
some pretty significant jumps for a lot of these top slots.
since we're now in the top 5, to me that tells me we are officially in peak territory, and so
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a dungeon that literally has peak in the name. It's my favorite dungeon from Twilight Princess, and I am, of course, talking about the Snow Peak Ruins.
Mhm.
So
It's so good that it doesn't even feel like a dungeon. Just feels
it's
like
right. I didn't
an
even. I
actual
don't
place.
think I realized at first when I was there that I was getting into a dungeon. It's so cool. It's such a great concept.
I wonder if some of the early Ocarina ones still stand a chance, like Deku Tree,
One of them
Jabba
better.
Jabba's Belly.
Well, I guess early had maybe not. Yeah, I don't think. I don't know.
I will go with Jabba Jabba's Belly. Just throw it.
Oh,
out there.
okay.
All right. At number 5, the Arbiter's Grounds from Twilight Princess.
I just said Arbiter's last time. I'm so mad.
And it's all because of the spinner. There's no other reason.
Yep.
Yeah. Looking through it, just to give myself again a reminder, since it's been a while for Twilight Princess. It's funny how it starts out kind of like the Forest Temple because you're hunting down for Pose.
Yeah.
Much creepier design in this game, and then you get the spinner, and then it's just like, all right, spin the win, and it gets thrilling in its design. Like it really steps up.
It
I
is
just
really
wish-
good. And that
I wish
spinner,
this-
unfortunately, doesn't really get used anywhere else outside of a few
Exactly.
overworld
That's what I was gonna
puzzles.
say.
But it's used really well here, though. Just
Yeah.
like parkouring off the wall, bouncing onto another
Yep.
rail.
It's so cool.
It's rad. Yeah.
Yeah, as you said, I just wish it was used more outside of this dungeon, but where it's used is great, and the boss fight's really fun. It's got a great sense of atmosphere. It's almost like you're, experiencing or like exploring like a forbidden tomb, right, or a crypt, kind of like Tomb Raider style. And it's really cool. I like this dungeon a lot.
It manages to make it kind of intense as well, because again, those Poe designs are pretty creepy, and then I think they come together. You find like a final one that you have to fight. The mini boss is called Death Sword, which I don't even think I realized, which is just a metal as hell name.
Yeah,
and,
it is.
Pretty sweet design. He really comes across as like a Nazgul from Lord of the Rings. It just towers over Link, but really, really cool design. And I like that it's more, you use the spinner for more than just parkouring back and forth. Sometimes you just have to rev it up in order to turn gears. So you have a little bit more uniqueness to what you do. But then it's hard to beat Star-Lord. that was like, good God, that fight was so much
training.
Really? I've never played Link's crossbow training. Wow. All right. Yeah, just I really good set pieces within the Arbiter's Grounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You also get there by riding a boar across a big sand field.
That's also true.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It's amazing.
I think you can walk if you want to, but you got to take the boar.
Now, why would you not use the boar?
Exactly.
I unfortunately don't know if I can play Twilight Princess again just because of the Skulltula designs. I can't. They're too much for me, man.
Oh, they're a little bit more.
They're too realistic giant spider for me. I can't do it.
Just squint your eyes, and then they're not there.
So I actually did that on the original. There, every there's grottos with like, a bunch of every kind of enemy. I found the Skulltula one, and I just closed my eyes and waggled, and because the game's easy and it worked. And I just closed my eyes and I just waggled, and it worked. It was great.
They'll die eventually. Well, one of us will.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But yeah, it's just a solid dungeon. Really, I think it comes down to just those really great moments. Really good use of the spinner. Wish other parts of the game could also use the spinner just as well, but says something that is such a silly in concept item kind of comes across as cool.
Yeah.
So, yep.
All right.
Yeah. Arbiter's Grounds at number 5. So, what beat it out by number? I was trying to change it up. I was like, nope, screw that up. Number 4, beating out Arbiter's Grounds by 350 points.
Okay.
Quite a few points.
What got number 4 according to everybody?
Well, you mentioned one earlier, just now actually. At the start of this one, you got to get the 4 things. Very reminiscent of the Forest Temple. So I'm going to throw out Forest Temple.
I will also mind the Ocarina of Time well. John, you were just mentioning you were wondering if any of the Young Link dungeons would make it. And I was only thinking in terms of the first 3, but I like Bottom of the Well so much, I at least want to throw it out there one time.
Does it count as a temple, Derrick?
It does.
It does.
Okay. Bottom of the Well is an option.
So I don't know if it's gonna be that, but I gotta throw out Bottom of the Well because it's one of my favorites. So Bottom of the Well it is.
All right. At number 4, the Stone Tower Temple from Majora's Mask.
There it is.
It really is the only one it could have been.
Yeah.
Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
It's got decent dungeons, but none of them are like top series level like this one is.
Stone Tower is such a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
playing through it. I mean, I ended up really loving Majora's Mask, but this dungeon was the only one that really stood out as something unique and different, and having to use all your weird doppelgangers, the
climb
shifting
up there
things around,
like every single one to get to the top. Yeah, creepy as hell.
Really good stuff. This is really the only Majora's Mask dungeon that I really like.
Yeah, it's a cool gimmick too. You sort of like rotate everything around.
It does. It's weird. It makes things confusing if you're trying to go for everything, but it's not so bad in the moment. Like, God, going back and trying to find the fairies. It's like, God, where are they again? How do I flip this? Where are they at?
Plus, it
can get to you, but in the moment, it's really fun.
Probably born out of that hallway from Ocarina of Time in Shadow Temple, I think it is, where it sort of rotates as you walk around. They probably thought, hey, we can do a whole dungeon out of that little effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I feel
I'd say it's probably one of the most complex dungeons out there.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, and I feel like it also has kind of taken on a weirdly outsized importance in an internet meme culture with, as Matty Meister says, the whole Ben drowned meme with the doppelganger Link. It's kind of taken on an outsized importance because of all that, on top of just being a really good dungeon in on its own, and also cool music. It's definitely one of the peak moments or peak parts of Majora's Mask.
I find most dungeons in that game kind of annoying.
They can be.
I agree.
The side quests are great, but a few of them are just kind of overly long, and not Ocarina level. But this one is like the one true standout.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, the Stone Temple could also be considered annoying with, again, a lot of its gimmicks, again, how complex it can be. Yeah, but it somehow works. Like it never felt bogged down in the same way as some of the others could be. And again, it's one of those late game dungeons. So you're utilizing all your masks, a lot of your abilities. It keeps it very interesting, and yet. Your boss of this dungeon is Twin Mold, which is a giant fight. At least in the 3DS version. I'm only using the 3DS version, so the fact And
It's like a giant monster fight. Like
yeah,
it's like Godzilla versus Kong.
I guess so.
Right.
Which is certainly unique. It stands out.
No, great dungeon.
Yeah, Kaiju Link with all his weird masks and whatnot. I've never played the N64 version of this. Do people generally prefer the N64 version or the 3DS? I'm going to guess N64.
I think in most regards, the N64
Probably
tends to win.
N64. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not like a Majora's Mask hardliner, so I didn't mind a lot of the changes in Majora's Mask 3D, but I know the Majora's Mask truthers really did not like the 3DS version.
What is different in the fight, N64 bite fight, I guess is the question.
I remember it being a bit snappier on N64. Otherwise, I can't remember that many like crucial differences.
The big
I don't remember the
big thing I'm seeing just looking at screenshots is that Link uses his fists in 3DS where he's like punching it and then he like swings it around a bit to make it really feel like a kaiju fight. Well, Link has all of his standard equipment in the N64 part.
Oh, interesting. That's a weird change, huh?
So, not sure why they decided that. Again, it does make it unique, no doubt about that. But
I actually kind of feel like it's cooler that Link just uses his fists on the 3DS.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just punch him.
Yeah.
You use your sword. It's just two faces of twin mold and giant mass slashes. Oh, yeah. The N64, the 3DS version sounds way more exciting.
Yeah,
it goes on for a while though on 3DS.
True, maybe it might be a little
Okay.
too long. That's fair. But yeah, again, just a very unique temple. It really did stand out as ending on a strong note for Majora's for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, time for that top 3. And number 3 beat out the Stone Tower Temple by 125 points.
Dang.
Man, to me, I feel like we come down to really only 3 possibilities.
Sure.
And I've already thrown one out before. I don't know where they're all going to land.
Well, I know
scared.
Forest Temple and Ancient Cistern are almost certainly there. What's the third in your view?
The third of my view is Snow Peak Ruins, which I threw out before.
Oh, yeah.
But am prepared to throw it again. So I think I'm going to go Snow Peak Ruins again.
I will go Ancient Cistern because I think it's cooler than Forest Temple, but I don't think it has the same respect as Forest Temple. So I'll probably say Forest Temple for later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. At number 3, the Ancient Cistern from Skyward Sword.
I was
cool.
waiting to throw out Ancient Cistern, but I was going to put it at number 2.
It's like aesthetically one of the most pleasant Zelda dungeons.
It's so
and then
cool.
you're just hit by the depths of hell with all these, it's like torturous down there. That end where you're escaping back to the surface and you've got all those like zombie bokoblins climbing that rope with you. Super rad. You get the whip there too, and there's a point where you're sort of trapped. You have to whip the key out of that jail to unlock the door.
It is one of the best dungeons ever in the history of Zelda, which is why it's obviously number 3. I had it at number 2 on my own list. Everything about it, the aesthetics, the music, the escape sequence at the end with your literal, you don't expect to go and land in literal hell underneath the Ancient Cistern. And it surprised at every turn. Really creative puzzles. The boss fight is maybe the best in Skyward Sword, period.
I mean, I honestly, the boss fight overtakes everything else about the Ancient Cistern for me, because I will never forget fighting Kaloctos and grabbing its giant swords and just slashing the hell out of it. It's like, I've never felt so powerful in a Zelda game than that moment.
Yeah. It's like Wind Waker experimented with you taking people's weapons, but it never quite felt as cool as that, because you've got this massive chunky sword and you're actually like dealing damage. You're taking chunks off him. It's super cool.
Yeah.
And up to this point too, Skyward Sword had good dungeons. I think the best of the first 3 is probably the Linear Mining Facility with the time shift stones and stuff. It had good dungeons, but not necessarily anything super stand out. Then suddenly you're in the second part of the game. You hit the Ancient Cistern, and we're like, "Whoa, what game am I playing? This dungeon's amazing!" And then you get the sand ship, and that's also really good. So there's a shift in dungeon quality from the first third of the game to the second that just hits you like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Star of Skyward Sword's very much like, here's the fire temple, here's the forest temple. It's just kind of hitting the beats and then it really stretches its legs and goes somewhere really cool in that second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, pretty fun use of the whip. Again, the aesthetics are so clean, at least the first half until you go to hell.
The whip was done in Spirit Tracks as well, but not as cool.
Right.
Because here it's a grapple. You can pull things over. You can use it as an attack. You can, get things easily. And the flick of the Wii remote is cooler than just tapping on the touchscreen.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm one of those that never really had trouble with the motion controls in Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
So thank God for that, because there's just some fun moments in here. So again, I can't overemphasize. Like, if we ever did a top 10 bosses, Kalactos would be my number one easily.
It's really good. Yeah.
All right. Ancient Cistern at number 3. So let's get to our number 2 Zelda dungeon of all time, beating out the Ancient Cistern by 16 points.
Well, not very much.
Wow, yeah. I'm pretty sure Snow Peak is 1. So I'm going to say
think so?
Forest Temple. I think so.
Wow. I actually think Forest Temple's number 1. So
Well,
I guess we'll see. I mean, you've been on a roll today, John. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're right. So I'm going to say Snow Peak Ruins, but we'll see.
All right. At number 2, Snow Peak Ruins.
Oh, okay.
I saved myself at the very end.
We'll see by how much of a gap, though. I think it's going to be pretty thin.
I wonder.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, you guys kind of already started talking about Snow Peak Ruins earlier.
Right.
The fact that it just does not feel like a dungeon, like it kind of sneaks up on you.
It does.
Just like, I'm here. This
down there to begin
house.
with. Your snowboard. You roll into a tree. You get a snowboard. You make your way down to this house, and it just kind of feels like a fetch quest to begin with. Like, you're trying to get ingredients for a soup. It takes a while to really hit you that it's the dungeon formula you're doing.
Exactly. Like, you don't really realize until you're partway through it that, no, this is a proper dungeon. It's really cool. And the boss fight's great. That takes a turn that you don't necessarily expect. And it can be kind of disturbing too. Blizzetta, like the way she looks, it's very disturbing. The story of the Yetis is really, cute and cozy until it isn't. And then
the item as well. This is the ball and chain dungeon.
The ball and chain, where it is really satisfying to use that to break open the ice.
It is, and you've got those annoying ice enemies, which beforehand are quite tricky to deal with. And on the build-up, you get those cannons where you shoot those balls through, and then once you've done that, you get the ball and chain. You can just smash everything now. Like, no setting up cannons, no having to tiptoe around the walls and all of that. You just whack them all with that big ball and chain.
Yeah.
Just a nice feeling of immediate power fantasy. It's like, struggle before, there you go, made it in, and it's so unique. It's probably the most unique dungeon in all of Zelda.
Ever. Yeah.
It really might be. And Matty Meister makes a great point. Like, I love the mansion is abandoned, but the Yetis make it their home. Really well integrated into the overall environment. And I forgot about this. I love how they give you the heart container too at the end. The 2 Yetis literally form out of their love. That was such a heartwarming, pun not intended, heartwarming moment. Yeah, it was really cool.
I would like to see more grounded dungeons, ones that just exist with people living in, like not some abandoned ancient thing. Because this is like one of the only ones that does that.
I can't think of any others.
Yeah,
I feel like maybe in A Link to the Past, the Blind's Palace and the Thieves Town in A Link Between Worlds. That's probably the other one that I can mainly the Thieves Town in A Link Between Worlds. That's the one I really think of when it comes to just a dungeon that is part of its overall environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
or Thieves Hideout. Yeah,
to that degree. I guess with that context, same with the what is it? Shadow Temple, because of the dungeon like design. Sort of
and bottom of the well.
But again, to have it much more natural, to not really, you wouldn't even think of a dungeon. I don't even know what kind of other theming you would do to pull off something like that.
Sandship kind of gave me that vibe too. Like, it was definitely more earmarked as a proper dungeon, but it didn't really feel like your typical dungeon setting.
It could one of the things played with expectations a little bit because you had the ghost ship in Wind Waker, which is not a dungeon, but then let's flesh it out into its own dungeon. Like take that concept and do a little bit something different with it. I don't know, maybe, but Snow Peak is still just a ton of fun. Just again, nobody can deny Twilight Princess has some fantastic dungeons in it.
Oh, definitely.
So, all right, it's time to get to our number one Zelda dungeon of all time, according to all of you, and it beat out Snow Peak Ruins by 281 points.
I didn't think there'd be a gap.
People love the Forest Temple that much.
Unless we're just missing something.
Yeah, unless there's like
one of it's just the Deku
Forest
Tree.
Temple, but yeah, it has to be the Forest Temple.
Yeah, it has to be.
At number one, the Forest Temple.
Oh, I was like, what?
Everybody trolled us. It's the Water Temple.
Yeah,
the Water Temple isn't as bad as people say.
No, it really
is.
Its
reputation's out of hand, but the Forest Temple is so much better.
Yeah, Forest Temple is where everything kind of really clicks.
Yeah.
For
dungeons. Do you think some heavy lifting is done by Phantom Ganon or Puppet Ganon?
I don't know. When I think of Forest Temple, Phantom Ganon is not among the reasons.
It's a cool fight, but I actually do think of the aesthetic of it: the hunting down of the pose, the twisting hallways, the odd moments where you have this sort of like more natural environment. We have grass and sort of other elements to take a look at. I don't know. It hits that perfect balance of more advanced than what you did before, but still not being too bad, and still it's just being interesting aesthetically. Like it finds a nice through line between all of those elements.
Well, and the atmosphere is just impeccable. Like the foggy weather, or just like, there's no sun really. It's all kind of foggy and dark. The music is like peak Zelda dungeon music. It's just the atmosphere, I think, is impeccable. And also, I think what helps, at least for me, is that it's the first dungeon you take on as adult Link, and you're going back to all of your favorite haunts. You're literally, in this case, going back to your home, and all of your friends are gone. The Kokiri are nowhere to be seen. It's overgrown with these crazy Deku Babas. And then Saria is nowhere to be seen. And then you go to this dungeon, and it's just full of these escalated threats that you hadn't really faced before as a kid. It just feels like we're going from, like, literally we're separating the boys from the men now. And now we're like, oh, it's getting serious. And it's dark, it's creepy. I think just all of that comes together to make it. And I'm part of the problem. Forest Temple is my number one as well. So I, guilty as charged. But I just, when I think of Zelda dungeons, I can't think of one that nails the atmosphere and the tone better than the Forest Temple.
Yeah, it is crazy in its vibe. I think one interesting part about it is it's a Poe hunt. There's 4 Poes you got to go and find.
Yeah.
It's still fairly linear, though. You've got to go to the certain areas in a specific order to get the keys. So it's like an illusion of there being a hunt, where really you're kind of going on a predetermined path.
Sure.
But you do get those sort of like bookmarks of like, this is how far I am now, like once you get a certain Poe. So you're feeling that sense of progress all the way that you go through, which just keeps it feeling like really well paced.
They also have the Wall Masters making their return in this, I think, for the first time in this dungeon. That cool twisting hallway. Like, it's just so cool.
Yeah, there's such good elements. I've been trying to find out, because I have it in my head. I'm not sure if this is actually true or not. And I'm trying to like confirm as you guys were talking. I want to say the Forest Temple might have been the first dungeon Aonuma designed when he joined Ocarina of Time.
Oh,
but I'm not 100% sure on that one.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that it'd be interesting. I think there's a lot of core Ocarina components in this dungeon that it makes sense as a first one. It's also is it the first one that has Stalfos in as well?
I think so. It's where Stalfos make their first appearance. Yeah.
I did that retrospective for Zelda, and I can't remember exactly what I had in there for this bit. Best trivia I can find is that it's likely the Forest Temple in Ocarina of Time is the remnant of what was originally planned for the game setting during early development, since it was going to be centered on one castle. So adapting from there, I suppose.
Maybe.
But
there's like narrative.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was it, but
Mhm.
either way, definitely feels like an early one. And yeah, Phantom Ganon still makes for a great boss fight. Taking advantage of 3D,
Yeah, it
probably
was
more
an
so than any
unexpected
other.
boss fight for sure. Yeah.
Mhm. The
Yeah.
bow is this one, right? The bow's the item of forest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which in Ocarina you kind of get like adult and kid items, and the bow isn't that different to the slingshot really. But I think you feel that power though in that boss fight when you're in first person, you're listening to the audio, figuring out
Yeah.
what direction it's coming from,
Mhm.
and yeah, an arrow just hits harder than a seed.
Yeah.
A
It's
bit
a
more.
little bit more impressive.
If I had to choose to get by one, I'd definitely choose the seed. I'll say that much. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yep. The Forest Temple at number 1. So, yeah, there's our top 10 Zelda dungeons. How you guys feel about that list?
Good.
I think it's a solid list. No 2D hurts my heart. I'm not that surprised, but no 2D does hurt my heart. But I do think it's a solid list overall.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, the 2D dungeons tend to they're lifted by their mechanics and level design, which I think aesthetic is key here for
Mhm.
being memorable.
It helps a lot. It really does.
Also, I'm
All
not
right.
that surprised, but I've been I find it interesting that there's no Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. Personally, I agree. I
That
would have
makes
maybe
Yeah.
sense.
stuck either the Lightning or Wind Tipple from Tears of the Kingdom near the bottom of the list, but not
I
overall not too surprised.
I really like the elephant one in Breath of the Wild, where you can
Oh, really?
pause it and adjust where the water's being shot from.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Probably
probably the
not
most
top 10
memorable of
though.
the. That's probably one of the most
Yeah.
memorable of those dungeons. But yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
put top 10. But yeah, let's see what the let's get our top 50s Zelda dungeons. Obviously, I'm not going to run through every single one because there's 150 of these dang things. So yeah, number 11, missing out by 10 points behind the Tower of Gods, the Water Temple from Ocarina of Time.
Of course. Of
It's
course.
kind of surprising, I guess. People talk about this dungeon like it's really badly designed, and it's not. It's just a bit confusing in its layout.
Well, I
Also
wonder
bad
if
on
the reason it
3DS.
got so high is because of its kind of memeified status.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You get there's that aspect. There's people like it's not that bad, and you put it in there.
Yeah.
There's a
We
lot
got
of different
Shadow
angles
Link
you
in
can
that
go.
dungeon.
Which is
It
a
is
really
does
cool
introduce
mini-boss.
reintroduce
Yeah.
Shadow Link, and that's a
Yeah.
really good mini boss.
You get the
Yeah.
hook shot here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Also,
There's a
great
lot
music.
of memorable moments in Water Temple that
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Water
do make
Temple.
it stand
It's
out.
not as bad as people say, for sure.
Yeah. And they fixed a lot of the pacing issues with the 3DS version.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with
So.
the iron boots.
Well, as press play to Jason says, it's really just that one key that's the problem. The rest of it is pretty straightforward.
Mhm. Yeah, when you really look at the elements of the Water Temple, no, it's pretty solid.
Mm.
Yeah.
At number 12, the Dragon Roost Cavern from Wind Waker.
Nice.
It's good. I think that the boss fight is very memorable. I'm not sure the actual dungeon itself is that memorable.
It's cool to
very
swing across.
straightforward.
It's straightforward. I think it's just a good theming. It's early on, so a lot of people have experienced it.
There's story in there too. Like it takes a break midway to have a little bit of story.
Yeah. I think it's solid. There's nothing super stand out about it, but it's just solid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Number 13 is where our first 2D dungeon placed. What do you guys think is the highest placing 2D dungeon?
I think it's Minish Cap's first dungeon.
I could see that. I'll go back to it because I said it before and I'm biased. The Palace of Darkness from A Link to the Past.
All right. Our highest ranked 2D dungeon in across all of Zelda is the Eagle's Tower from Link's Awakening.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That one gave me a lot of trouble as a kid.
It is a cool
I liked
one.
it though.
Is that the one with Kirby in?
No, that's the face. I think that's the face shrine. Maybe it is Eagle's Tower.
Google it. Which one's Kirby in?
It is no Kirby.
It is the one
Eagle's
with Kirby
Tower.
in.
Oh, okay,
Right, yeah.
It does
understandable.
have Kirby in it.
Yeah, and it's really unique
Yeah.
too. 'Cause you have to,
Just because of Kirby.
Yeah.
it's really unique too because you have to like take the iron ball and throw it at the 4 pillars, but you have to
that's
like
right.
you have to like maintain
Yeah.
it across multiple rooms. It's really tough at
Yeah.
first.
It's a
Yeah.
2D boss
I
fight
think
as
that's
well,
why
the
it stands
Eagle.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. have a bit of a jumping there. Yeah, there's a lot of unique aspects to this dungeon compared to a lot of other 2D games that I think helps it stand out. Whether it's the Iron Ball, as mentioned, the fight against the eagle. Yeah, this makes sense. And Kirby,
Yeah.
the anti Kirby.
Face Shrine can't be that far away though, because I think that's my favorite in Link's Awakening.
That's why it made my top 10. I love the Face Shrine.
And it is largely the music.
Yeah.
But it's still good.
At number 14, the Temple of Time from Twilight Princess.
That's a good one.
Okay. Yeah, it's good. That's got like what, 10 floors or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
This has that cool like mechanic that I always love in games where you're like revisiting somewhere you've been before in a different game, but suddenly there was more to it than you ever realized. And there's this whole ass new area that maybe was always there, but you got to like to imagine it was always there, but now it's suddenly here, right? And I love when games do that.
Yeah. At number 15, the Great Deku Tree from Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Great first dungeon.
It's so good. Going 3D, they really contextualize dungeons. It's not just here is this old cavern. This is an actual place. And I think all three of the Young Link dungeons do that, where it's like this is an actual place you can go into.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't that also a bit of a hold on? The first dungeon you go to in the original Link Legend of Zelda, isn't that inside a tree?
It is actually, yeah.
It is in a tree.
Yeah, so it's a callback to that.
That's
you go
true.
inside a tree
I
for
never
your
thought
first
about
dungeon.
Yeah.
It's just you have a lot more context. This was, Ocarina of Time was my first Zelda, and what a way to just like it felt so natural. It really does ease you in perfectly to that game.
It does. Amazing use of perspectives. Like you get the slingshot here, going first person. Amazing use of 3D, jumping up from high and breaking the spider web. Like,
it's
just
so
stuff you
using
couldn't
fire.
do before. Yeah,
burn,
elements of the fire. Yeah.
And
That's cool.
and Goma felt like a properly threatening first boss.
Yeah.
Great starter dungeon.
Yeah.
Number 16. This one feels like a troll to me, but maybe I'm wrong. Great Bay Temple from Majora's Mask.
What?
I don't like Great Bay Temple.
No. Who likes
Are
the
you
Great Bay
thinking the
Temple?
Smash stage, maybe?
What? Yeah.
With Zora swimming in N64, it's better than it is on 3DS because it's very slow on 3DS. But
Right.
I don't like it.
How is Great Bay Temple anywhere in the top 50?
I think it's kind of worse than the Water Temple.
Oh, easily.
The Great Bay Temple fans are going to eat us alive for this.
Yeah, they are.
guess so, yeah.
Tell us why you love the Great Bay Temple.
Please.
I am very curious about that one. It's fine at best.
I don't like it.
At 17, the Lanayru mining facility from Skyward Sword.
Yes, that's more like
Good
it.
one. Yeah. Way better.
Wonderful. Yeah.
The time shift stones, man. It's such a cool
Oh,
mechanic.
time shift stones are amazing.
Yeah.
Lanayru lost to Great Bay by 36 points, by the way.
It's super cool when like the stones are on a minecart or something, and so you're moving along with them, and you're seeing everything just shift as it goes. Really,
I also like the designs of the mining androids, the mining robots. I think they're really cool looking.
Yeah, they're fun. At number 18, Snowhead Temple from Majora's Mask.
I wouldn't put it as high, but I will say Snowhead is probably the clear second best dungeon in Majora's Mask.
The climb up with Goron Link's pretty cool as well. Just slashing through those snowballs.
Yeah.
It's better than the Bay Temple.
It's no Stone Tower, but it's the clear second best dungeon in that game.
Yeah. At number 19, the Wind Temple from Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay. This was my favorite temple from Tears of the Kingdom as well.
Oh,
actually.
I have not finished Tears of the Kingdom, but my God, I remember being just blown away by forget the pun, by the boss of that section.
Oh,
holy crap!
The music for that boss fight, when you hear the Dragon Roost Island theme, I lost my mind. I was like, this is peak Zelda. And also, as Matty Meister says, the climb getting to the dungeon is one of the best parts of it too. It's so epic. You go so high. It's so cool. I love this dungeon.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah. So of the Breath and Tears games, that makes sense to me. That's the highest ranked. Number 20, the Earth Temple from Wind Waker.
I'm surprised it's up that high, actually.
I'm trying to place this one. What's the core gimmick of this one?
Isn't that the one you work with Medley?
Oh, yeah. In that case, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is. That was
yeah,
a
It
cool one.
is. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. I couldn't remember if it's the one you
I
worked
thought that
with
was the
Medley or
wind
the one you
temple
worked with.
for the second, but yeah.
Yeah. No, it is
Yeah.
cool. Like being able to pick her up, throw her across the room, have her like glide up, fly with her.
Yeah.
There's some rad co-op stuff. Yeah.
It's a cool dungeon. It's not like I'm
Mhm.
surprised it's this high, but as a Wind Waker stan, I'm glad that it is.
You get the redeads here too, don't you?
Is that in this dungeon?
I feel
I
like
think
it
so.
is. I feel like it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even as
Um,
a huge Wind Waker fan, even I'll admit that really the only one that deserves to be in the top 10 is the Tower of the Gods.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is where a lot of the up until the finale, at least it's dungeon wise, they started blending together. I was starting to have difficulty with these. Either way, number 21, the Thieves' Hideout from Link Between Worlds.
Yeah.
It's a
This
great,
is
great
rad
dungeon.
one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just fun. Nice update to the classic one, kind of make it a bit more, maybe not thematic, but just really. And again, yeah, merging into the shield boss,
That
really
was such
cool
a
use of
cool
the
mechanic. Yeah,
abilities
That
there.
was great.
Link Between Worlds does have some really good dungeons. I think its problem is they're all quite basic theme. It's like this is a water one, this is a whatever one. But the actual design of them, they're all fantastic.
Yeah, agreed.
I think, they kind of blend together sometimes, but yeah, overall, I mean, there are some really good ones in Link Between Worlds.
22, the Fire Temple from Ocarina of Time.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
The big islands.
Also really atmospheric, and that was the one that they had to change the music because I think of there was like Islamic chanting in the original version.
Yeah,
you're
freeing
Those are good, fun.
You're freeing Gorons. Volvagia was a really cool boss fight.
Yeah,
the Megaton Hammer just smashing him on the head.
Megaton Hammer did make you feel powerful.
Yeah.
Just the utility isn't. It's not like the best utility. Like here's a switch that's a bit too hard to press normally. Whack it with a hammer. But there's cool
pretty much.
Though.
Yeah. It does its job.
Yeah.
At 23, Low Rule Castle from Link Between Worlds.
The music does a lot.
The music's great.
Music does a lot, but it's also just the build up to get to that point. You know,
right?
Yeah.
Like you're climbing so high and you're using all the abilities. It's a good final dungeon.
It's great. The finale of Link Between Worlds, the last 2 hours, is peak Zelda.
It really is.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's excellent. I'd love to see that big come back on Switch, just played on the big screen.
Yeah.
In a 3DS.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
At 24, the Palace of Winds from Minish Cap.
Okay.
That is a really good one. I'm surprised that's the first Minish Cap dungeon, but it is a really good one.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised it's not the first one where you fight the giant.
I thought that would be the standout one. This is where
Mm-hmm.
you get the Rock's Cape, right?
Yes, jumping across, I believe.
Yeah, which was already an oracle of seasons.
I couldn't tell you either. But again, the fact that you're jumping, you have that as Matty Meister points out the vertical dungeon. There's a lot of fun ideas here. I can get Palace of Winds being the top representative of Minish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
25, Hyrule Castle from Twilight Princess.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a good one.
Just a good final dungeon.
Yeah,
you use a lot of these abilities that you've built up over time. There's a good challenge to it. It felt appropriately epic. 26, the Sky Keep from Skyward Sword.
I like the Sky Keep.
I do like that one as well.
Yeah. I really like that. Felt very, very cool atmosphere in that one too. I like that one for sure.
27, the Final Trial from Breath of the Wild. The DLC dungeon.
The DLC was
pretty good.
The DLC dungeon was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
and you can pop down some bananas to distract the final boss as well.
Yeah, the Maz Koshia boss fight was cool.
Yeah.
That was a cool ass fight.
And then he got to come back in Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's see. 28, Woodfall Temple from Majora's Mask. So
it's a solid first.
I think we've got better than
not
this.
amazing, but it's not. Yeah, I agree. There's better.
All four at this point. We've seen all four Majora's Mask dungeons. They've all made at least top 28.
I want to debate anyone face to face who tells me that we haven't had a Link to the Past dungeon yet, have we?
Nope. I was about to say that. No Link to the Past yet, and that hurts my heart.
Yeah, Link to the Past has got a lot better dungeons than most of Majora's.
Yeah, I agree. So agree.
At 29, the Goron Mines from Twilight Princess.
That's the one with the magnetic boots,
yeah,
right?
yeah. This was
Yeah,
a
the
cool
magnetic
one.
Yeah.
boots, and you're doing the sumo stuff. Yeah, that definitely stands out as an early dungeon in Twilight Princess.
That was
It's
cool.
fun, yeah.
Although I don't know if maybe it's a bit further down because of clanking using those boots could definitely get a bit much. But no, that was I remember that being a pretty standout dungeon for me when I first played Twilight Princess. Number 30, the Wind Temple from Wind Waker. This is when you're working with
Earth Sage, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I think this kind of has the same problem at Wind Waker's dungeons. They're fine.
Larudo is his name.
But we've got better than this.
Agreed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love the Wind Waker, but
the car. That's what I'm thinking.
Where's the Link to the Past dungeons?
Yeah.
God.
At 31, the Lakebed Temple from Twilight Princess.
Oh yeah, this was a pretty cool one. Like you've got you're shifting like the stairways where water falls down and sort of changing the dungeon as it goes. It's a pretty cool one.
Yeah,
of all the Twilight Princess dungeons, I feel like it's just kind of that's one that fades into obscurity the most for me.
It is kind of like how do we do the water temple again without overwhelming people?
Yeah,
that's kind of vibe it gets. Yeah,
Take Two.
Yeah,
very much so. At 32, the Face Shrine from Link's Awakening.
Nice, finally, my beloved Face Shrine. Yeah, the music so good.
33, the Forsaken Fortress from Wind Waker.
I do like this.
It's unique because it's mostly stealth.
People always complain about stealth in games. I often like it. I even like the Skyward Sword searching for like Tears of Light in stealth sections. I think they're fine. People whine about those.
I go back and forth on some stealth. Sometimes I like it, but a lot of times I don't. Like for me, when you go to what is the Yika clan hideout in Breath of the Wild, I was like massively overpowered, and then suddenly I go into this Yika clan and it's game over. If I'm caught, I'm like, man, just let me just slice my way through these guys. I know I can. I know Link can. Just let me do it. Yeah,
that's kind of the issue with stealth sections is that like once you get more powerful, it's like, really, come on.
Yeah, it's like I know my Link can totally dominate these guys. Yeah.
At let's see, now at 34, the Lightning Temple from Tears of the Kingdom. This is one I've not experienced.
Definitely my second favorite dungeon in Tears of the Kingdom. It's really good.
This is the Gerudo Temple, right? Yeah. So I've not
kind of gave me Arbiter's Grounds vibes, actually, in a good way.
Nice.
Yeah, lots of really cool, like using lightning abilities to pierce through powerful things. Yeah, really great vibes.
Yeah.
35, Ganon's Castle from Ocarina of Time.
It's great.
Yeah, it's kind of like a best hits of all the
previous
dungeons.
It is.
Yeah.
It literally is that.
It does it better than what Wind Waker does. Wind Waker does like a boss rush at the end, whereas this one, you're just sort of going to biomes and doing like brand new things with existing ideas.
Yeah.
And also that lead up to the final boss with the organ getting louder and louder as you're going up the steps. So
the stairs,
classic. So
only level. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. It's the second temple to be made into a dungeon to be made into a Lego set. Technically,
that's true. That's true.
Because Deku Tree got to be the first, and now this whole thing. So we got the beginning of the game and the ending of the game in Lego form.
And you've got tennis in there. You've got tennis in the final boss.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Everybody loves tennis. 36, Jabu Jabu's Belly.
It's fantastic.
All right. Yeah, it's a good one. Even though I know it's very divisive because of Rudo and having to pick her up and throw her. And
this was the first temple when since Ocarina was my first dungeon, my first Zelda. This one was like, oh my gosh, it's really starting to get mixed up and lost because everything looking very similar and figuring out the puzzles and all that. It felt tough. It felt rewarding getting through it, but definitely rough on the first go through. Nowadays, it's fine.
I don't think carrying Naruto around is as bad as people maybe remember it is, because she's taken away from you a bunch. It's not like you're carrying her all the time.
Right. I also like the low res textures in the N64 version. Just it just gives the whole veiny, organy, like it's gross. Pulsating. It's like properly pulsating. It's like properly gross. Whereas like the 3DS one, kind of like with Dead Hand's model, I feel like cleaned it up a bit too much. It made it less gross. And you're inside this giant fish. It's supposed to be gross. And I really liked how disturbing that whole concept was.
Yeah. 37. I think people are messing with us here. Temple of the Ocean King from Phantom Hourglass.
You've got to be kidding me. No, that's people are just doing that to be.
People are trying to troll a little bit.
You've got to be kidding me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is no
So,
way.
No.
I don't remember the Spirit Tracks variant that well, but I can tell you I prefer it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it definitely is better.
Easily, yeah.
Yeah.
It is
30
memorable. Yeah, we'll give them that.
It's
memorable.
memorable.
You
Not
visit
just
enough,
way.
you're
said
going to
that-
memorize it.
If
Yeah.
you said any other Phantom Hourglass dungeon, I'd have to Google it. That one I know what it is at least.
Yeah, exactly.
I know
It's
I
the only
hate
one
it.
people remember.
Yeah, I don't get it.
38, Bottom of the Well from Ocarina of Time.
That
It's
is
better than
way
that.
too low for bottom of
It's
the well.
it's
I mean,
brief,
it's a
I
mini
suppose.
dungeon,
Yeah,
so
yeah. but
I
it is
know,
great.
but
I wasn't
the
sure whether to
atmosphere is
include it,
just
but I was like,
impeccable.
I'll go with it.
Right. I love this dungeon.
Yeah. 39, Divine Beast Va Naboris from Breath of the Wild.
Is that the elephant?
I
No,
feel like it
that's
is.
the camel. That's the Gerudo dungeon.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah, it
having
was
to
the
remind
camel one.
myself.
What
oh,
did you
yes.
do in this one?
This is one where you rotate the wheels around. I think the elephant's
Oh,
cooler
yeah.
than this.
I don't remember liking this dungeon very much. Well, I didn't
Yeah.
like almost any of Breath of the Wild's dungeons,
I didn't
except for the
dislike
DLC
them.
one.
Yeah, I think they're a little unmemorable because they all kind of look the same, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. They all look the same.
The approach to Va Naboris was really cool, though.
I think my
Yeah,
favorite parts
it
of the
was.
Breath of the Wild dungeon was how the music would escalate as you get further into the dungeon.
Yeah.
And like it adds new layers on top of the music. Plus, there's that whole really cool Morse code thing,
Mhm.
the Morse code Easter egg in the music. So I like the music, but otherwise, Breath of the Wild's dungeons just didn't do it for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's one of the wheels that you rotate around. I think the elephant's cool. Like you can like climb up the trunk, change the position, like rise. with
Oh,
it,
right. I
fly
remember that.
around.
Yeah.
Number 40, Temple of Droplets from the Minish Cap.
You're telling me that the Temple of Droplets made it in before a single Link to the Past dungeon?
Yep.
This is killing me. What?
Oh,
I don't
this
even
one.
remember the Temple of Droplets.
Yeah, this is just it's one of those ice ones where you're sliding around and lots of block pushing
Yeah,
puzzles.
that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I vaguely
It's-
remember that one.
Like it's okay,
It's fine.
but we've got better.
Exactly. Crazy.
Yeah, every dungeon in Link to the Past is below the Temple of the Ocean King.
That's
That's
got to
what we
be
pointed
that's
out.
got to be vote just poisoning the vote. I refuse to believe people actually believe that.
Let's see. Number 41, Divine Beast Va Ruda from Breath of the Wild. This
The
is your
good one.
elephant.
I
This
think
is the good one.
I think that ended up being my favorite of the main
To
dungeon.
be fair,
Yeah.
it's only 5 points below Va Naboris. Like it's
Okay.
starting to get really close between
Oh,
these
okay.
guys. Like
Yeah, I
single
think
points.
Varuda was my favorite other than the DLC trial.
So yeah. 42, Deepwood Shrine from Minish Cap.
So this is the first
There's
one.
the first.
And it
Okay.
is cool to be fair, like going through those giant barrels, just dealing with the like natural things at a tiny size, and then you got the choo-choo boss who's just massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. At 43, we finally have a dungeon from A Link to the
Finally.
Past.
This is crazy.
Jesus.
Which one?
What do you think it is?
Yeah, maybe Skullwoods. That's not a bad shout.
I'll say, well, my heart says Dark Palace, but I'll say maybe the Tower of Hera.
43,
Yeah, that's
Tower of Hera.
Tower of Hera. I know that's a really
There
popular
you
one. That's
go.
a good dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
And it has that
There's a lot
super
of
annoying
really good
boss fight
ones.
with the Moldorm where if you fall, you have to do it over again.
Yeah.
I love
Yep.
that fight. 43 is the first.
43 to
Link
get a
That's
Link to the
nuts.
Past.
That's
It's
nuts.
absolutely crazy.
Only 2 points behind Deepwood Shrine. Like again, there's a very slim difference between a lot of these dungeons at this point. Like it is just so minor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyway, number 44, Turtle Rock from Link's Awakening.
Oh,
Really good
yeah, that's
dungeon.
pretty cool.
I like that one a lot. And Turtle Rock from Link to the Past. They're both great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Really good one. 45, Dodongo's Cavern from Ocarina of Time.
I
It's
can
probably-
see it being more.
yeah.
It's good, but it's one of the more weak ones, I think.
It's like the most probably just standard, bog standard
Yeah.
dungeons in that game.
I think it
Yeah.
also helps stand out because it's the second dungeon. It's building up. You get a bit of ramp. It makes up.
Yeah.
Let's see. 45. Actually, it was a tie between Dodongo's Cavern and the Ice Ruins from Link Between Worlds. Sorry.
That's a good dungeon.
Yeah,
I like the
that's
Ice
a good one.
Ruins. Yeah.
So got that. 47, Inside the Moon from Majora's Mask. I forgot about this one. So yeah, technically 5 dungeons in Majora's Mask. So
Yeah.
again, a nice compilation one.
Yeah.
It's fine. 48, the Forbidden Woods from Wind Waker.
I actually really think that's one of the better dungeons in the Wind Waker. I
It's-
always liked that one a lot.
I would rank this higher than the ones we've had already, or some of the ones
Yeah,
we've had already.
same.
Yeah, I think I would too. 49, Divine Beast Va Meadow, Breath of the Wild.
That's the Rudo dungeon, right? Or the Rito dungeon.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're shifting like the wings. And,
The
like, which
wings.
direction-
That was
Yeah.
pretty. Yeah.
That
is
is
a
pretty
cool
cool.
one. That is a cool one. Mm.
Yeah. And then finally at 50, the Forest Temple from Twilight Princess.
Oh,
Kind of a standard
that-
first dungeon, but it's
yeah,
all
that's
right.
the ones with one of the monkeys, right? Where you're
Yeah, the one with the monkeys.
Yeah,
gathering
the monkey
monkeys.
one.
around.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite surprised how many Breath of the Wild dungeons got in here, even more so than Tears of the
Same.
Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as
They're
much as
very-
people complain about them, apparently they stick out.
Yeah, they're quite brief. I think they're kind of harmless. We've gone into this before. Breath of the Wild has so much to it, where the dungeons are just kind of a blip on
Right.
the radar. But they're not bad. They're just not prominent.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel like it's the same thing with Majora's Mask. Like you don't play Majora's Mask for the dungeons. You play for
Yeah.
everything else. Same thing with Breath of the Wild.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I'm curious where, I know we're not going to go through the rest of them, but I'm curious where our first NES, either Zelda 1 or Zelda 2 dungeon made it.
That would be, let's see, I got to do a little bit of counting, so give me a
Zelda
second.
2, I think, I think you remember them a little bit more. Like with Zelda 1's like,
A little bit.
If I said level 4 to you, do you know what that means?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The highest ranked one is at 68, Death Mountain from Zelda 1, the final dungeon.
The final one. That makes
I
sense.
can
'cause
kinda
it's the
get
final
that,
one.
yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
The highest placing Echoes of Wisdom dungeon was Farron Temple. Again, I have no context for it.
Okay.
Link to the Past starts showing up a lot more in the 50 range, because that's when you start getting Gargoyle's Domain, Ganon's Tower, Skull Woods,
Yeah.
Okay.
Turtle Rock. The highest of the Spirit Tracks was Temple of Spirits.
Mhm.
Okay.
Spirit Tracks does have good dungeons, but it's not. It's hard to pinpoint what they are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
The highest placing Zelda 2 dungeon was the Great Palace,
Okay.
which tied with with level 1, the Eagle from Zelda 1.
Okay.
Oracle Seasons top 1 was the Sword and Shield Maze.
I was
It
going
is
to ask about that because I've been
it's a shame.
replaying Oracle of Seasons lately, and it's got some really good, really good brain teaser dungeons. You really have to.
They
think
always
your way
get
through some
shafted,
of
the
these.
Oracle games. They're
Yeah,
sort of
they
grouped
really do.
together, and they're not really spoken of.
Mhm.
It's just kind of the legacy of those games. They don't really get the same spotlight as everything else.
I included the Cadence of Hyrule dungeon. So Temple of Brainstorms was the highest of those.
Okay.
Oracle Seasons, the highest was the Dancing Dragon dungeon.
Cool music at that dungeon.
I think that's pretty much all the major ones. I'm looking through. I'm not seeing any others that we haven't talked about before as far as the games.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
So
Man, the Oracle games really deserve more love.
they do. They do.
Yeah.
And they probably won't get it unless there's a full remake, though.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Link's Awakening remake engine is right there. Just toy linkify it up.
And it finally works pretty well on the Switch too.
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, there is our top 50 Zelda dungeons. So I think that was pretty interesting to see what came on top. A few, I feel like you guys are trolling us, but if you have legitimate reasons, like you like the Temple of the Ocean King or Great Bay Temple, let us know.
Yeah, give us an essay in the comments about.
Yeah.
Temple of the
I
Ocean
got to
King.
know
We
who
might read
these
it.
Temple of the Ocean King voters are because I don't get it.
You got to explain yourself there a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. So before we end things off, of course, we have our next poll, which you can find a link to in the description and the comments below. And our next poll is going to be the top 10 female characters in gaming, going off of the fact that this week we're recording this is actually the day before we recorded this was Women's Day, and it's Women's History Month. So why not? Let's do it. let's
Nice.
let's celebrate the women of gaming. And you can go for aesthetic reasons, you can go for personality reasons, whatever. You can just go through it. There's a lot to choose from. It's going to be very interesting to see who tops out. Wonder how much is going to be dominated by Nintendo girls, but we'll see.
Daisy's
Branch out.
gonna win.
There's more. There's
It'll be
more.
interesting to see. Yeah.
I'll
The
just
Daisy
say,
subreddit is going to catch wind of this poll.
oh yeah,
Oh,
it's like
no.
let's
Well,
see some love for Cat from Gravity Rush in here.
Oh yeah, who's the Pikmin 3? Is it Brittany? The Pikmin subreddit's
Oh yeah,
going
Brittany.
to catch Brittany.
There we go. Oliver's wife. They
Yeah,
top
Oliver's
10
wife.
female characters.
That'll be, yeah, I'm curious to see where that top 10 lands.
It'd be interesting to see whether it's going to be Nintendo characters, fighting game characters, or RPG characters that
Right.
kind of
Right.
top it out. Because I feel like those are where the big character part, like female characters, to come out from a lot of people.
Right.
So we'll see what happens there. But either way, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to GVG, hitting the like button, and ringing that bell. We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/GVGaming with plenty of extra perks. So until next time, bye.
Bye.